sitting here all freaking weekend. It's just 8 o'clock. And you can see we've been here for almost 64 hours. In about 2 hours from now, we're going to be leaving and heading over to our pickup finally. So we're going about an hour away from here. So what kind of steel, I don't know, extruded or plates or coils. You know, could be a different type of slinky that might be on a rack again. Who knows? We won't find out until we get there. And we're taking that up to, basically taking it up to Chicago, you know, Bolingbrook, Illinois, which is right on the western side of Chicago, like the last time we were there, Addison. Real close to it. But we're going over here to first to McBee, South Carolina. So we are popping in here to Home Depot. I need to pick up some cotter pins for my chains because I need to replace some cotter pins. And I also want to make sure I have plenty of spares in case I have to break a chain open, take a hook off in order to tie something down. So I want to make sure I have a little supply of extra ones on hand. Alright, so we got our cotter pins. So we have spares to be able to replace them when they break on the chain. So we'll never be without proper securement. That's one of those little things that you need to think about, you know, when you're a flatbed driver, step deck driver. You know, you're securing a load with chains. Some of those pieces that you're putting on that deck,
continue on this road for 3.4 miles,
will require you to take the grab hook off, pull that clevis pin out, which requires you to take off that cotter pin. You have to bend it so that it's closed, and that causes metal fatigue, and eventually it breaks. And there's no way of getting around that. You know, basic physics, metallurgy. You know, it's just going to happen. It's just not a matter of if, only a matter of when. Now, I'm sure there's a driver or two out there who has never had to break their chain by taking the grab hook off and blah, 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 blah. I'm fairly sure there's a couple of drivers out there who never have done that. I've had to do it 3 times already in my short amount of time here doing flatbed this past 5.5 months. I've had to do it 3 times on a minimum of 4 chains. Now the last load I took out of Pueblo, you know, I had to break apart 8 chains. Anyway, finally have one truck leaving. He was on the door when I got here. So maybe that'll mean one of these other 2 guys here, the guy in back of me or the guy in front of me, can get in the door. Then I can get in the door. Then I can leave. Gotta love it. Well, all right, so it is 12:30, basically an hour late. And guy came out, told me that as soon as this guy here pulls out at door 5, which he's doing right now, that nice you know, W9 there, then I'll pull right into door 5. So now we got to get out of the truck while they load. We got to put down the chock locks. Got to put chock locks under the wheel. And then we get to go sit over to the side and wait. So you see, we're fairly square, you know, a couple of millimeters, maybe an inch off, but we're close enough. One wheel. I said, yes, I'm not directly in the line. It's not important to be perfect. It's more important to be safe. But here's another example of appearance or perception of safety. They have these nets here, which clip right onto the rail here, but they're not using them. Gotta love it. So we get all of our stuff out the way. Alrighty. We got ourselves loaded. Fairly low, just heavy. Alrighty. So we're gonna get ourselves strapped, get ourselves tarped, and we'll be good. Okie dokie. It is now 3:20 in the afternoon. Gonna make my way up towards Monroe for my scale ticket, fuel, and I guess I'll be parking for the night there. We got ourselves finally loaded. We're tarped down, we're strapped down. We're ready to roll. Well, you may not be able to see too well, but load is riding fine. No real problems. So we're in Gaffney, Georgia. And once again, there were more parking spots available, so I didn't need to reserve one, but rather make sure I got one than take a chance. So we're gonna go in here, grab a shower, and then we'll decide what we're gonna do for dinner. Whether I'm gonna make something in the truck or just walk into Arby's here. So that's today, Monday, December 31st. The last load of the year will become the first load of the next year.